some respect from me. I mean,
But Josh, remember, Josh, we're both atheists, so we're on the same side, right?
yeah.
Well, some of us act more skeptical than others.
You might want me done with Josh, but unfortunately for the two of us, I have more to cover. I was a bit disheartened that I didn't get more of a response from Josh in my last video. Not that I needed an entire video response from him, but just a comment saying where I got something wrong, where I fabricated stats, where I took him out of context, some inkling as to how I am wrong in this discussion, and he is not. I didn't get that. Instead, I got a single tweet reply where he said that about half my video was correct, but he misinterpreted stats. Now, from the last video, I showed that he doesn't have any stats. The FBI does not publish these stats, so I don't know what he misinterpreted, or what he thinks he misinterpreted, but he didn't have any numbers to go on. To add to my frustration, he didn't tell me what of my video I had gotten wrong. It seems as though I did a pretty good job fact-checking. I was responding directly to things he said, and I backed up my statement with screenshots of tweets that he had made, so what I got wrong, I don't know, and he doesn't seem willing to tell me. But me saying I didn't get anything wrong, perhaps that's a bit of a biased perspective on my part. Of course, I don't think I got anything wrong. Speaking of biased, this has nothing to do with the conversation, but I found this tweet hilarious. Look at it. Bask in it and all of its Freudian glory. The Guardian biased its stats. Oh, I couldn't have asked for a better belated Christmas gift than that. Josh, you humble me. Constantly. Oh, I know that's clearly not what he was trying to say, but the fact that he is so bad at consistently bad, not just once and lets it go. No, he is consistently bad at communicating whatever it is his message is, and it just doesn't stop being hilarious. Now, because I didn't get the response that I was anticipating from Josh, there's not a lot more for me to say on the subject of my previous video, so I had intended to move on, that Josh has played out, it's time to find other topics to make YouTube videos on. However, I found something beautiful. What I found was the hangout that occurred between Josh and Anthony late September of last year. I didn't realize that my calling in life was that of a prospector until I saw all the gold there was to be mined from that stream, and I would feel guilty if I left this stream unaddressed, so now it is going to be addressed. The stream itself is far too long to cover in one of my videos, so instead the stream will be linked down below, and I will be responding to specific segments of the stream. If you'd like the full context for what I'm responding to, see the original.
It goes back to your racism of low expectations. It's like you can't, black people have to be mollycoddled. They have to be coddled and they have to be supported because they're somehow lesser than white people. And it's fucking shit.
I don't understand how you're pulling that out, how I said that they should be cuddled when I'm advocating the fucking death penalty again.
I don't know why you're bringing the death penalty in, dude.
No, because you're saying I'm being apologist for crime.
Josh's comment about the death penalty is meant to indicate that Josh is in fact hard on crime. However, the way that he responded to Anthony's comment is beautiful, and it's subtle, but what he just did was conflate criminals with black people. The point that Anthony is making is clearly that Josh is a paternal racist towards black people, because Josh does not hold black people to the same standards that he holds everyone else. Now, Josh hears this, knows that he is being called paternally racist towards blacks, and hears being light on crime. He has conflated blacks and criminals in his own mind. If there is a more explicit example of subconscious paternal racism than that, I don't know what it is.
Because you're saying I'm being apologist for crime.
No, you're an apologist for black people. You're an apologist for black criminals, is what you're doing. You're trying to get to, well, black people are, they're born into poor societies and they've got all this shit going on and they have to way more
I'm
of a
saying
struggle
it's a
than white
vicious
people.
cycle. That's why
bullshit.
it happens. People don't make a decision to be born in the ghettos. People don't make the decision to be a drug dealer. Well, actually, no, a lot of them do, but
Yeah, take that one back.
Yes, some of them do. Now, he backpedaled to that position. He backpedals from no one makes the choice to become a drug dealer to, well, not everyone makes the choice. As if there are people who are drug dealers not by choice. Josh, every drug dealer has chosen to be a drug dealer. You are stripping people of their autonomy, and that is disgusting. It's a tragedy that drug dealing is such an easy profession to get into and has such a low barrier to entry, and that a lot of the people who are in drug culture got into it very young. But we can't say that they didn't have a choice in the matter. We cannot deprive them of their humanity. Josh, they made that choice, and we can't not hold them accountable to it. This is what paternal racism is, Josh. If your position is also hold them to account for their actions, then why are you having this argument? You don't disagree with anyone. You are taking objection to the tone in which they take it. That you are not comfortable with other people saying blacks are criminals too. Because whites are also criminals, and so are Asians. Not all of them. Not all of them, Josh. But disproportionately more blacks are. Please make peace with the reality in which you live, Josh. Because this is a reality in which you and I both coexist in, and I'd like to be on the same page about facts.
Do you want to move to Detroit with your shiny car and see what happens to it overnight? Of course you don't, because it'll be broken into. It'll have no fucking wheels on it in the morning. And that's the truth of the matter, Josh. That is the truth of it. That is what will happen. Of course you don't want to, like, you live in Edmonton, and I looked at the stats for that today. It's got a higher crime rate than other Canadian cities, but you have a lot of, you think you call them Aboriginal? Would you call them Aboriginal people? Traditional Canadian people, right, okay. And they appear to commit more crime than other people do. Is that right? From what the general impression that I got from looking at it briefly.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right.
What the fuck did I just hear? Did I just hear Josh acknowledge that one demographic of people commits more crime than another demographic of people, and just he let that slide? He didn't feel any need to bring that up at all? Josh, are you racist towards Aboriginal Canadians? Because that position you just took with Aborigines is what we're taking with black people, Josh. Why was he so willing to let Anthony slide on that Aborigines commit more crime comment? He didn't even give it a caveat. He didn't say, well, yeah, but they're also poor, or yeah, but they also go with undiagnosed mental health issues. He didn't feel the need to apologize for them at all. Why does he not need to take that position with the Aborigines, but he does need to take it for black people? What happened to mitigating factors, Josh? What the fuck?
Still accusing him of being a racist. If you say racist stuff, it makes you a racist.
No, I said you have said a racist statement. That doesn't make you racist. If you apologize,
yes, it does.
if you
No, it does.
No,
No, it
okay,
does
so
make
if
you
you
racist,
accidentally,
yes.
if something slips out and you say, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. This is what I meant."
No, because what he said was
I wouldn't
correct.
call you a racist.
No, because what he said was correct. Black people in this country do commit way more crime than white people do.
Again, no,
That is
that's
just a
not true.
fact.
Black people don't. Just the young men, like you mentioned. Again, that's a generalization of the entire race.
Black people in this country commit more crime than white people do. More serious crime, murders and rape and shit like that. The crimes that people are bothered about. Theft, murder and rape. And they do, Josh. And you know that. I can see it in your face. And yet you're just like, no, I'm going to stick to what I said. I've got to stick to what I said because I've said it now and it's out there and da-da-da-da-da.
Well, no, because I still stand by it. I can admit when I'm wrong. And I do. Often.
You're not admitting when you're wrong. You're not admitting it. Because you're kind of halfway there, but you're not prepared to take that one last fucking step and just go.
Yeah, well, how about at this point, when Devin takes one last step or takes half a step, I'll take that other half. When he admits that he can be wrong and that he has said racist shit, I'll go ahead and admit that I was wrong.
He hasn't, Josh. Why do you keep going back to that? He hasn't said anything that's racist. He said things that
just because you say it's not racist doesn't, like, the entire world thinks that that is a racist statement, and because you say, no. Oh, well, we're just saying facts. How about him purposely trying to misconstrue statistics?
You zealot. You cling to Devin Tracy with the kind of fervor I would expect from a slighted lover. You blatantly refuse to acknowledge your own faults until someone else does it first. You've given Devin so much control over your life. It's sickening. You take autonomy away from black people because you've willingly given yourself to someone else. I don't feel at all compelled to continue responding to this video because I think everything that can be said on the subject has been said on the subject. This is a level of fanaticism that I am not equipped to handle, and I don't really feel as though there's nothing productive to be had from continuing dialogue with Josh. I tried to help, I really did. It just didn't work.